You just got distracted right there. That sound, that tiny little ding, just hijacked your brain for a split second. And now it will take you 23 minutes to fully refocus on what you were doing before. That is not my opinion. That is a research from University of California, Irvine. 23 minutes for one notification. Now here is a stat that should terrify you. In 2004, the average person could focus on a screen for about 2 minutes before switching tasks. Today, 47 seconds. Your attention span has been cut by 75% in 20 years. And it did not happen by accident. It happened by design. Every app, every notification, every tool that you use was engineered to steal your focus. Because in the digital economy, your attention is the product. I'm Vijay Srinivasan, 30 years as a COO and in IT industry. And I'm going to tell you something that no productivity guru will say. Focus is not a productivity hack. Focus is the number one leadership skill of the AI era. And you are losing it. Today, I am going to show you why distraction is not just killing your output, it is killing your career as well. And I am going to give you a 3-part framework to get your brain back. Not with meditation apps, not with notification settings, with a leadership level shift in how you operate. Let me tell you why I am framing this as a leadership issue and not as a productivity issue. Because productivity advice says turn off notifications, do time blocking, use the Pomodoro techniques, and that is fine, but it misses the real cost. The real cost of distraction for a mid-career and senior IT professional is not just lost hours, it is lost strategic thinking. Here is what I mean. When you spend your entire day reacting, answering Slack messages or team messages, jumping into unplanned calls, responding to emails, putting out fires, you are operating in execution mode. You are doing the work, but you are not thinking about the work. Leaders think about the work. They ask, are we solving the right problem? Is this the best use of our team's time? What should we be doing instead? What is the strategic priority? Those questions require uninterrupted thinking time. And if your day is fragmented into 47-second bursts, you never get there. A Deloitte study found out that 48% of employees describe their work as chaotic and fragmented, and 41% of the workday is spent on tasks employees say do not meaningfully contribute to the organizational value. So, here is the brutal truth. If you are distracted all day, you are not just unproductive, you are stuck in the executor mode. And executors do not get promoted to leadership, thinkers do. The most important question in your career right now is not how do I get more done? It is how do I protect the time and space I need to think. This is what this framework is all about. Not doing more, thinking better. Before I give you the framework, I want you to understand the 3 layers of distractions that you are fighting. Layer 1, environmental distractions. Notifications, open offices, Slack messages, unplanned meetings. This is the layer that everyone talks about. It is the easiest to fix as well, and it is the least important one. Layer 2 is structural distractions. This is how your work is organized. Back-to-back meetings, no protected time on your calendar, a culture that rewards responsiveness over thoughtfulness. These are harder to fix because they are systemic. Layer 3, identity distractions. This is the deepest layer. This is the belief that being busy means being valuable. The belief that responding fast makes you reliable. The belief that saying yes to everything makes you a team player. These beliefs are the real reason you cannot focus, because you have built your entire professional identity around availability instead of impact. So my framework addresses all these three. Let me walk you through it. The first part of this particular framework is what I call the CEO filter, and it is brutally simple. Before you respond to any message, join any meeting, or pick up any task, ask one question: would a CEO spend time on this? It is about training your brain to evaluate everything through a strategic lens. A CEO does not answer every Slack message the moment it arrives. A CEO does not sit in a hour-long meeting that could have been a 5-line email instead. A CEO does not spend 30 minutes formatting a spreadsheet when they could delegate it. A CEO protects their attention for the things that only they can do: decisions, strategy, relationships. Now, here is the practice. Every morning before you open your inbox, write down the three things that matter most today. Not the most urgent, the most important ones. The things that, if completed, will actually move you or your team forward. Then protect the first 90 minutes of your workday for those three things. No Slack, no email, no meetings, 90 minutes of strategic focus before the world gets a piece of you. I did this for the last 10 years of my executive career, and I can tell you those 90 minutes produced more valuable stuff than the remaining 6 hours combined, because they were the only hours I was thinking, not reacting. Research backs this up. Only 23% of professionals can maintain deep focus for more than 45 minutes. If you build a daily 90-minute focus block, you're already outperforming 77% of the workforce. The second part addresses the structural layer, the way your workday is organized around other people's priorities. Here is a stat that will shock you. Knowledge workers spend 88% of their work week communicating across multiple channels. 88%. That means only 12% of your week is spent doing actual deep work. You are not a professional who uses communication tools. You are a communication tool that occasionally does professional work. So here is what I want you to do. This week, run a communication audit. For 3 days, track every time you switch tasks, every time you check Slack, every time you get pulled into an unplanned conversation. Write it down. You will be horrified. Then sort what you tracked into 3 categories. Category 1: things that require you specifically, your expertise, your decision, your relationship. Keep these. Category 2: things that could have been handled by someone else or by a process. Delegate these or create a system. Category 3: things that did not need to happen at all. The meeting that was a status update that should have been just an email. The Slack thread that went 40 messages deep over something very trivial. Eliminate these. When one of my clients, a delivery manager at a major IT company, ran this audit, she discovered she was spending 3 hours a day on category 3 activities. 3 hours. Eliminated. She used that time for strategic client conversations and was promoted within a few months. You don't need more hours. You need fewer distractions, and the audit shows you exactly where they are hiding. A quick pause. I have built a free 1-page communication audit template that you can use this week. It takes 5 minutes to set up and will change how you see your workday. The link is in the description. Now let's jump into part 3. This is where it gets a little personal. This is the part that no productivity video will ever tell you, because this is not about tools or tactics. This is about who you believe you are. Most IT professionals have built their career identity around one word: responsive. You respond fast to messages, you respond fast to problems, you respond fast to requests, and you have been rewarded for that. Your manager calls you reliable, your team calls you Mr. Dependable or Miss Dependable. But responsiveness is a follower's identity, not a leader's identity. A leader's identity is not responsive in nature, it is intentional. A leader does not react to everything. A leader decides what deserves their attention and what does not. A leader protects their thinking time the way a CEO protects their calendar because they understand that their highest value is not in answering questions but in asking the right ones. So, here is the upgrade I am asking you to make. Stop being the person who responds to everything fast. Start being the person who responds to the right things well. Stop measuring yourself by how quickly you reply. Start measuring yourself by how clearly you think. When you make this shift, something remarkable happens. You stop feeling guilty about being available 24/7. You stop feeling anxious when you don't need to check Slack for 2 hours. You start operating with a very calm confidence that people around you will notice. And that calm confidence, that is what executive presence actually looks like. Nobody ever promoted someone because they were the fastest replier on Slack. People get promoted because they are the clearest thinker in the room. Let me bring this full circle. In the AI era, execution is being automated. Code can be written by AI. Reports can be generated by AI. Data can be analyzed by AI. But here is what AI cannot do. AI cannot sit in a room full of conflicting opinions and make a judgment call. AI cannot read the emotional temperature of a struggling team and decide what they need to hear. AI cannot look at a quarter's data and decide to pivot the strategy. All of those things require one skill, the ability to think deeply when everyone else is reacting. That is focus. And in 2026, focus is not a nice to have. It is a skill that separates the people AI replaces from the people AI works for. So let me recap the three-part strategic focus system. Part 1, the CEO filter. Before any task, ask, would a CEO spend time on protect 90 minutes of your strategic focus every morning before the world gets a piece of you? Part 2, the communication audit. Track your interruptions for 3 days. Keep what requires you. Delegate what does not. Eliminate what does not exist. Part 3, the identity upgrade. Stop being the fastest responder. Start being the clearest thinker. Measure yourself by the quality of your decisions, not the speed of your replies. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop me a comment and tell me, what is your single biggest distraction right now? Is it Slack, meetings, email, or is it that voice in your head that says that you need to be available every second? Be honest. I read every comment of yours. If someone on your team needs to hear this, send it to them. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can give a colleague is a permission to protect their thinking time. Subscribe if you have not already. Every week I help IT professionals stop being invisible and start leading. Your brain was not built for 2026, but you can build 2026 around your brain. Start today. Protect your focus. It is the last competitive advantage that cannot be automated.